That's my number one. She works upstairs. Teal.
There you go.
Teal.
You know what I'm saying? I'd have to say probably Questlove. You know what I'm saying?
Questlove, that's a good one.
Because
Oh,
he's just the hardest working man in show business.
I love it.
I mean,
Great piece.
All right. Thank you, Shen Yu. Well, as we just saw, it's all in the rhythm. And I'm sure the subject of our next profile would agree with that, whether it's playing his guitar or playing a round of golf, which he recently agreed to do for us, more or less at the same time.
Welcome to Marine Park. Yeah. Well, it started for me when the Bad Brains came to town, Michael. The Bad Brains, just like they sound, they are one awesome group, man, and just a blessing to be able to be associated with those guys. Daryl Jennifer brought me up to New York from down in North Carolina, and he was actually a big reason that I turned golf professional too. So he knew that the music was a big part of my life, but also could sense that golf was real important too. Whew. Wind about blew me down. Teaching the game of golf has always been so hard. I was really trying to look for a way that made it, a lot less difficult, less complicated. So when we started talking about musical foundation and creating sounds in the shots, actually, you're trying to focus on something other than hitting the golf ball. So if the human condition, all it wants to do is hit the golf ball, we sort of program you to try to do something else, like make a sound. And if you can make a sound with the club, it's much better than trying to hit the ball. Can you know that I want to bust out some stuff for you? Sam Snead heard a song in his head, a Strauss waltz, every single time he took that club back. So you want to talk about significance. When you hear a song in your head is when you're going to be able to play some good golf. And obviously Sam Snead played better than just about every American ever from the country. So he's the man. One of the phrases that we like to use here and when we teach our students is painting the sky with your finish. So when you're really feeling that you're playing your best golf, you're really going to try to paint the sky with your follow through. And it almost sounds like a Jimi Hendrix type of term right there, but it really starts the understanding of letting the ball go rather than hitting it. You actually can hit that ball and not make a swing. So what we're trying to do is understand a continuous motion is going to really get this job done. So, I hate to say it, but right now I could easily hit this one right over onto that fairway. So you want to see some action there? All right, let's take a look. We're going to go right in between. See those trees down there? We're going right in between those trees. With a lot of help from above and from my friend. Bang! You know how cold my hands are?
Another great piece by editor Tim Etienne and Emmanuel Alexandra. All right, Duke Ellington once said, "Music is my mistress, and she plays second fiddle to no one." Well, Hunter Watkins is here with me live in the studio, and we'll have to ask him if music also comes first for the man who, according to our Chamber of Commerce, is our official golf professional of Brooklyn. Here to talk guitar and golf and what's happening on the local golf front is Marine Park golf pro, Hunter Watkins. Welcome, Hunter.
Hey, Michael, what's happening?
Man, what'd you think? Like it?
Man, I'm pretty impressed. First, that day was so cold out at Marine Park. It's hard to imagine how cold it was, but we got that little piece done. I didn't fall over hitting any of those shots, so I felt pretty good.
Good. As far as your relationship, you're still playing music a lot?
Yeah, obviously,
about churches
I play
in this
music
area?
every week in the church. The church is my number one thing right now as far as my musical stuff, but also working with a lot of people, trying to get the musical direction really, back to where it used to be. Golf had taken a big priority in my life, obviously with trying to support a family. The music business, there's a reference to Daryl Jennifer and the Bad Brains, who is one of my biggest idols, and he, a long time ago, knew the hardships of the music business and was like, his words exactly, Hunt Rock, you'd be a great golf pro. This would be a way for you to, support your family, do what you love. Also you can do the music. So, I was really really a blessing to have people like him in my life to be an influence. So big props out to Daryl Jennifer.
Okay. Also, you stated golf pro. What is the difference between a golf pro and a professional golfer, real quick?
Right. I think that all golf professionals aspire to be professional golfers. And what that means is that you are like Jordan Spieth or Rory McIlroy in that you go play these golf courses for millions of dollars. So when your talent level is so high that you shoot 65 every time that you tee it up, you would be a professional golfer. I am a golf professional, meaning that I've dedicated my life to the game of golf. But shooting 65 every day is not going to happen. I can shoot maybe 72 every day, but you're not going to win any money shooting even par or a little bit better than that. So the best that I realized that I could do was not on the scale of what Jordan Spieth or Rory McIlroy can do. So I figured that out early. I better stick to the music.
Real quick, also, as far as you're also our official golf guru here in Brooklyn, right? Now, the difference of golf courses, you have Diker Beach and you have Marine Park.
Yeah.
Explain the terrain and...
Right, really big differences. Really big differences. Diker Beach Golf Course would be like a parkland golf course. There's no houses around any of the holes, either at Marine Park or Diker Beach, but there's a lot of trees and you sort of weave your way in throughout the golf course at Diker Beach, and there's more hilly terrain.
It's almost like an obstacle course?
Well, it could be, depending on your level, of course, but Marine Park is a link-style golf course in that it's much more spread out and a little bit wide open. But the difficulty lies in the conditions around the green, which we have extremely fast greens at Marine Park, but also the hilliness around the greens itself. It's a flat golf course, Marine Park, but when you get to the greens, they're all elevated. So it's very tricky once you get to the greens at Marine Park.
More than any other sport, I think technology is right on par with golf. I mean, they're right. It's almost even, especially when it comes to the clubs, the balls, the drivers, everything as far as golf is also includes technology. And also and what I'm saying also is that right now you have an application, a RAP, right?
Right, yeah, this is in development, and it's a strange story how this actually made it to where it is. You can see it there. It's called Swing Song. But several years ago, a student of mine that was incredibly close, we had basically decided to do something like this, where we could teach golf based on music, and now using modern technology, bring it to an application on your smartphone. So all the things that my students are privy enough to enjoy will now be brought to you in another capacity. This gentleman actually, he passed away from cancer. His name was Mike Meehan. And just a wonderfully brilliant, charming guy that just that passed way too early. And this was sort of our idea. And with his passing, I thought that it was never going to materialize. I thought that I would not be able to get Swing Song, the app, off of the ground. And lo and behold, Lord blessed me with my new partner, Stanley, and we're making this happen this summer, 2015.
Tell us about Swing Song, the app.
Swing Song, the app, is basically how you're going to be able to learn the game of golf without the complicated, mechanical, the old reference is that if I take a golf lesson, I'm going to be ruined for 3 or 4 weeks until I can interpret what exactly happened in that lesson. Well, if that happens, with anything that we're a part of, yeah, we're going to give you the company, basically, because that doesn't happen. When you simplify and actually learn what you're doing. Now, this is a little complicated, but I know you get this right away, Mike. If I teach people how to do it all day long, they come in, I show you how to do something, you're vulnerable as far as your interpretation of being able to reproduce that.
Correct.
If I teach you to know what you're doing, if I teach you to know what you're doing, you will know how to do it. So it's also a principle in metapsychiatry, how we affect the teaching. So this application is actually going to use metapsychiatry to teach you to be a better golfer through music. I can't believe I just said that.
Wow. No, I want to talk about some of the things that took place in golf,
Right.
especially here in Brooklyn last year. You had the Jamaica Open. We had also the Brooklyn Open.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it's amazing to be a part of such a hotbed. You know, I mean, Mr. Giordano obviously has been the guy that is writing the checks for these events. So whenever you have a guy, and I hope the people of the city really can hear what I'm saying about Mr. Giordano's contribution to the golf, to sports life in New York City. He's doing an incredible job. You know, this whole sort of idea of what it takes to run a golf course on your own, overwhelming, completely overwhelming. And the fact that he's reaching out and he's crossing cultural boundaries. I mean, we're trying to have the Korean Open. We're trying to have the Jamaican Open again, the Brooklyn Open. I mean, this is big, and bringing people together, you know, especially in lieu of everything that's going on in this country. Golf is a place where we can really get together and we can really, you know, put all of that mess, you know, beside us.
Politically, do you feel the game is much more inclusive or exclusive? And here in Brooklyn, perhaps it is. Maybe in other parts of the country.
No, that was pretty observant, right, Mike? Because you know, here, you know, you're forced on it. You know,
right.
It is basically, you know, if you can't make it here,
right.
yeah, it's going to be tough for you to make it anywhere else. But speaking for Brooklyn alone, I am really thrilled to see how people respond to each other. I mean, at the golf course, we are all brothers and we treat each other accordingly and we look out for each other. Somebody loses a wallet, a cell phone, keys. Golfers find these things and give them back to people. You know, try losing it at the mall. You ain't getting them back.
I'm not going to touch that. Now, the Parks Foundation also. Now,
yes.
As far as you're also including youngsters in the game of golf. Of course, you have to keep this game going. So you have to bring the next stars, huh?
Mike, thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, I mean, I might have forgotten about it. Yeah, the City Parks Foundation. You know, another, if I could speak directly to the parents out there that are wondering what their kids are going to do this summer. The City Parks Foundation of New York has free golf programs. So please, if you guys want your kids to be involved with something amazing, I can't remember who actually said this, but it's very rare these days that you can drop your kids off first thing in the morning and pick them up late in the day and know what they did all afternoon. So please, parents, you know, get your kid involved with something that's going to produce integrity, that's really going to make them a better person, you know, self-policing. You know, golf is a great place to get kids these days, and just not enough kids are coming through. So please check it out, City Parks Foundation.
And one thing, what is the main lesson when you teach people how to play this game that you want them to take away after each lesson?
You got the good questions today, Mike. Wow. No, this is, you know, that's funny because through, you know, 15 years of doing this, you know, I've really sort of gotten a lot more succinct with my teaching and being able to affect people instantly. And the thing that I gathered from your question is I would prefer if people could learn where they are swinging to rather than what they are swinging at. Sounds a little strange, but if you swing in a certain direction and let your golf ball get in the way, the ball will go in the direction that you are swinging. But if you try to hit the golf ball, you want to say some prayers that that thing finds the direction that you had hoped that it would go in, right? So the whole sort of art to golf in a nutshell, you know, and how you phrase the question, was we're swinging to a target and letting the ball get in the way instead of trying to hit the ball, because it's a man thing. I feel a lot of connection when we start talking the difference between men and women. You give a man a stick in front of a ball, he want to hit the ball,
right,
not swing to that target.
And the woman will swing at the target.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, thanks for coming.
You got it,
We'll
Mike.
have you
Thank
back
you for
again
having
pretty
me.
soon. All right. Well, since we already had Japanese drumming on the show, we're going to stick with that. And a part of our world for today's Brooklyn cooking segment is hear how to cook Asian marinade kale, prepared by local Brooklyn chef Allison Mance.